So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to return here in this views. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to return to the index in the index. So I'm no longer going to be using this article. This was just for the sake of explaining how to pass a number or a parameter to your URL. But in order to make our application work successfully, and in order to make our application organized, we need here to return, instead of returning HTTP response, I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to return instead. I'm going to say render, and then request, and then I'm going to return the blog index.html, and that's it. I'm not gonna return anything else, and we have now this blog index. Now it's time to work on the index function here. What we want to do is that instead of returning here just the page, an empty page, because if I go to the index, nothing is gonna be displayed. We want to make a request and get data from a server. So how can we do that? To do that, we need to import here. We need to say import, and then we need to import the requests module. And then here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to say requests.get. And this get function is going to make a request to a URL, to a service, to an API, and it's going to get data from that service, and I'm going to pass this data down to this index so that it gets displayed. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to say response, and then the response is going to be equal to requests.get, and then here we need to pass the URL. So I'm going to create here a new variable called URL, which is going to be equal to the URL that I'm going to get shortly, and then I'm going to pass this URL here in this get function. Now what we need to do is that we need to get this URL.